Okay, welcome back. This is the process page for Neotex. Here's the culprit of what will be taking up most of my time on this video is this thing. So I have a plan. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, how can I make this an HTML and CSS? So one of the things I have is, well, obviously, okay, they're all going to be in 4 little containers, right? They're in their own little boxes. And I'm going to have, this is going to be a span with the p tag, and I think I'll have a dot too. Well, this span, I think maybe I can make the dot a span, or no, the dot has to be its own thing so that I can add a border around it, or not so much a border, but maybe a pseudo element on top of it so that I can make this, or I can do that with a border. We'll see when we get in there, because what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to make a pseudo element. So this will be, it'll be this tall, right? It'll be this big. It will take up, it'll basically fill this whole spot. We'll have a border with no background, with a border radius to create this, and I think it'll stop here, so it'll be this wide. And then this section will have a pseudo element that is, full width, full height, and we're going to position it to the right with its border radius, border top, right, and bottom. No border here, and they're going to connect here in the middle. And we're going to do the same thing. This will be a pseudo element with a border around it, missing the border right. And then this will be another pseudo element. And so they're all going to connect like in the middle. These will be absolutely positioned to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And I might even be able to get away making these as a pseudo element. Make this as an after, and then give it a border around it, the same color as the background. So I think that's how we're going to do it. And this should be fun. So we're going to take our about, copy, new page, paste, save, and this is going to be process HTML. And we don't need our FAQ.js. So we're basically going to start fresh, I think. Or not really. We can keep the same, but remove the image because, all of this is basically the same. It's like the same letter height and spacing. So that's what we're going to do. Let's remove you. Okay, FAQ, we don't need you. Factories, we don't need you. And that's landing. So we're going to remove these guys. We're going to keep the landing, but we're going to minus the picture. Okay. And instead, it's going to be .info group. Let's get this. You're going to go here. You're going to go here. And we're going to move this. And I think the big difference here is y'all are going to be in your own content. Because I need to position you guys. So I need to position all of this over here. I'm not going to absolutely position this. There's no reason to do that. Plus, I don't like absolutely positioning text, so I just want it to be in the normal flow. So in this info group, let's work on this. So I know we're going to have and we're going to have, each one is going to have an item. That's what I'm going to call it. And then inside this item, we're going to have a span, here 1. Okay, that's going to be, we're going to absolutely position that. And then we're going to have our P. Like that. And that's it. That's the beauty of using pseudos, this is as clean as we can get. That's as few as divs as we need. And I think the rest we can do with pseudo elements and creative positioning. So now let's go down to here. This is going to be a banner. And this actually, I don't think it's going to be a section because I'm not going to use this. This isn't a heading. This is a quote. So we're just going to do div banner. And literally all we need is P and the name. So that's that. Now the knitting and all this, the nitty gritty of the knitting, and that's done. So let's get into our, I'm thinking, so each of this is going to be an H2. So they're all going to be their own unique section tags. So this is going to be steps. This is going to be step 1. And what we're going to do, it's going to be container. And inside this container, we're going to have our picture elements. So let's grab our picture stuff. There we go. I knew I had one somewhere. I'm going to start with picture. Oh, is it 655, 802? Cool. Already done. And did I save these? Yeah, step 1, 2. Oops, I renamed this one. Yeah, step 3. And then I gotta make the mole versions. Let's do 450. Let's just see what these look like when they're all in there. If they're lower quality, then we'll increase their widths. $150 men. Okay, there we go. Now let's just get these going. Step 1. I don't have loading lazy. Let's make sure these are on my images over here. So we don't want it on the landing. Just want decoding async. All of these images need to have their loading lazy. No images there. Okay, that's loaded lazy. Cool. Alright, that's lazy. Alright, so now we got our image. And then we got our content. So we got our H2. P. And this is decorative. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this as a pseudo element to the H2s. That makes the most sense because it's decorative. So it doesn't need to be in the HTMLs for the screen gears to pick up. And that's one less, you know, markup thing I have to do in here. So I think these are all I need. So then what I do is I take this, step 2, 2, 2, 2, and instead, because on mobile they're all going to have the picture on top. So I'm just going to keep doing this because this should be, if I was going to do this, this should be up here above the picture, so it can be left or right. But we're doing this mobile first, so we're going to leave the code as is for mobile first and use flex order to, flip and swap these guys. So then I gotta do this again, and that's going to be step 4. Step 3. Okay, and I purposely left these empty so I could just copy and paste. And actually, I think the texts are all going to be the same. I should have just pasted that too, but all right, cutting. And I mean, all this content is going to change anyway. Who knows? This is all just placeholder content for now. 3. Okay, there's that, and the rest is going to be done with pseudos and flexing. And then that's it. So let's get busy. Landing. So right away, let's let's copy our about CSS, right? And oh, something's off. Oh, I gotta save it. Save. This is gonna be process.less, and we're gonna minimize you. And factory. CTA. I'm gonna leave logos because that's how I'm gonna start fresh. It looks like I forgot one. We don't need this actually. Logos. Just extra CSS. Okay. So now we can close this out. Process.ls is good. We're gonna get rid of this. So let's work on our landing. First we gotta connect our CSS. It's not about anymore, it's process. And the active state is not about anymore, now it is process. Excuse me. .html. .html. Okay. So let's see what we got. Process, open live server. Oh, I gotta watch it. So we got, let's refresh. Interesting. It appears something isn't working. Did I mess this up? Oh, CSS. There we go. So we got, this is what everything's gonna look like right now. And see, like this is already almost done. So let's just clean this up. 90%. That's good. And so this guy, you're going to be a max of 645. Margin bottom 67. Yeah, there it is. Max width of 645. 64, bold, enter, right. I'm going to do max width on the P's of 458. So where are y'all at? Oh, it's already got it. All right. So now let's focus on this. Now that we got I think this is all done, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to build this thing mobile first, but with desktop sizing, and we're going to scale it down. So let's just minimize all of these so we're not looking at them. Okay. Landing right here. So this is going to be .info group. Okay. So let's start off. Let's start off slow. Let's get these guys going. This should be 0, 1, 2, 0, 3, and 0, 4. So .item. We're going to make the span. Make the position absolute. That means we got to make the container position relative, so position's relative to it. Top 50%, transform, translate x, negative or y, negative 50% to center it. So now it's in the center, and height and width are going to be 53. So we got a display block on this thing so that we can add height and width on a span. Spans are displayed inline by nature, and you can't add heights, widths, margins, or anything. So this display block, height is 53. Is 53 divided by m, which is going to change because it is 18. Font size 18 divided by 20. That means this is 18. 18. We did that, and so these spans, you see that like this, we got it, but like the text inside is not centered. So I'm going to flex it just by content center, align items centered. And now they're centered inside. You can't see right now because it's like in the way of the text. So now that we have their height and widths, this is going to be the edge of this container. So it is 23. Well, 23 plus 53, 76. So let's go left, negative 76 divided by 28. Cool. Let's just do margin auto. Get you in the center. Bigger you. Let's just say 40. Excuse me. Okay, so now we can see. I'm going to give it a margin top just to get it out of here. 200. Just so we can see it. Okay. So we got this now. We need to do a border radius of 50% to make it a circle. And its border is going to be 3 pixels. And I'm not doing the M's for borders because borders, they don't really do well with half pixels. So I'm just going to leave it solid as 3 pixels so that it always renders properly. Oh yeah, and these spans got to be a different color. And they're bold. So see, now we got these guys. Why do they seem off? Right? It looks weird. They're not. Just don't look like they don't look the way they're supposed to look. I don't know why. The border. Is that a 0? These don't look the same. Yeah, they don't look the same. Really? Okay, see, I don't like how this is off. It's bugging me. So I'm going to do this. Instead of flexing it, I'm going to do text align center. The center's there, and then we're going to do the padding top. And we're just going to push it down until it looks right. 5 divided by 18M. Let's do 7. 9. 12. That looks about centered. So I just had to eyeball it, and I'm using the tools that I have. So padding pushes things from the inside. So it pushes my content from inside their container. I know this. So if they're sitting at the top, I can just use padding to push it down. And I can use text align to center text, which is here. So I can hit center this. Oh, great. Nappy time. Yeah, I guess. I gotta wait for baby to come up. But so I centered it vertically, which I know is right now. That's easy. And then I just pushed it down with padding. So that's another workaround. Now we got to put these over here. And my P's, here's my span. My P's width 100%, max width 100%. Oh, they're going the full width. There we go. I think this is the opposite direction. So my item length of type, I need let's see, 1, so 2, and 4. Your right is going to be, sorry, your span left is going to be auto, so we're going to reset that with auto. And then right is negative 76 divided by 18. And that's going to push that over there. Now we got to create our padding. $23. All right, so if this is 23, that means this has to be 23. So I think my P's, padding is 23 divided by 18, 23 pixels. Okay, and border radius of 10. Okay. Well, that's weird. Oh, that's right. So now these are going to be text aligned. Right. There we go. So now we're starting to see it to come together. So now let's make our little pseudo element on the P's. I hear them coming upstairs. I don't have much time. Night time is upon me. Oh, I hear her crying out there up the stairs with mommy. 8. I feel like I'm on the verge of solving this problem, but I hear you. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. We're gonna do nap time, and then we're gonna come back and finish this. So I'll be back. Okay. So we left off. We just did our little circles. So on the 4th and 3rd circle, span. It's on the P. Okay, so our P4 left auto right. Right. And left 0, but you know what? I think they're gonna be left -4 and right. Because they have to be kind of in the center right here. Okay, so those guys are moved over, and yeah, oh, there we go. Oh, jeez. Give it to me. There it is. 9 pixel. Okay, so these befores, I'm going to give it a border. 9 divided by 18M. Solid. And it's the background. Oops. Save. Okay. Now for the fun part. I'm going to do a pseudo on the P. So we're going to do an after. So let's grab my pseudo. No. I'm fine. I'm fine. Grab this. We're going to do an after, and it's going to be this color. No. That's the border. So we're going to do border, 1 pixel, solid, color, border radius, 10 divided by 18M. Okay, you kind of see what's going on now. So I got to do background, transparent. Oops. After. There we go. Okay, can you see what I'm going for here? Is this 1 pixel? It's like 1.5. So we're gonna make it to So we see that. So let's scoot these over. Well, because we added 9 pixels on each side, so that's 18 plus 8 is 24 is 12. Half of that is 12. Let's try negative 12. Is that about half? Yeah. Because we added the border around it, so that changed its width, so that changes how much we have to move it. These have to go a little more, apparently. There we go. You see the illusion there. It's creating that break. So now what I need to do is these afters. I think they're going to be 50%. And on the second and fourth one, it's auto right is 0. Right, so they're going over there. So I think I need to start selecting individual ones. So this one, we don't need a border top or a border right. The afters, border top, none, border right, none. And you see a little border radius there, so we have to change that. So border radius goes from this corner to this corner to this corner to this corner. So I want a 0, 0, 0. I only want this corner. And now we're going to change the height. Right, so 50%. Bottom 0. Top is auto. Yeah, reset the auto. There we go. All right, you see how I'm making this now? So on the second one, let me just take these. So we do groups up first, and then underneath it we do individuals. So on the second one, I want a border left of 0. Border top is fine. I need this to be curvy. And then this one is 0. Bring this in. Okay. I'm gonna close these. So we're on the second one. And you see they're not lining up. So zoom in really quick here. Height, we're going to do auto, top 0, bottom 0. Actually, already got bottom there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this go up. Negative 2 divided by 18m. There we go. You see it's connected there now? So now what we're going to do is on the third one, border right, none. Okay, border radius, this has to be 10. This corner has to be 0. This corner has to be 0. And this bottom left corner has to be 18. Or, sorry, 10 divided by 18. So we got that and got that. So now we get our top, -3. Let's change that to 1, -2. Okay, there we go. Now we got those lined up. And I think we just have to repeat the second one for the fourth one. And change its top value to -1 or -2. There we go. And your height need okay, border none, the border bottom. And the bottom is 50%. There we go. So that's being masked by the border radius. This is being masked by the border radius. And there we have it. That actually worked out a lot easier than I thought it would. So now all we have to do is scale it down. I mean, let's see if this is even going to match up right. So info group. Let's scale you down. Looks like we're having some problems. Okay, that helps. Maybe I have to make this 18. There we go. Now that looks right. Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to also make the borders responsive, and we'll just deal with the repercussions of that, whether or not the half pixel thing works or not. But there we are. It's completely responsive. But I think I gotta adjust some things. On number 2. And 4. It appears we have some problems with rendering. And part of me is just wondering if this is just a visual error in the inspector. So we'll decide when that time comes. So let's there it is. Let's try 100. That should do fine. And then when does this break? $3.55. So let's set a separate media query. Landing.info group dot item type child and the type. That's 2. And I need P after top negative 2 divided by 18. Okay, so that's fixed that. I'm wondering, I'm just going to set this width lower and this width higher. So the first after, I'll make you that big. Let's just do 10%. 5, 2. That's good enough. And then 2. That way everything kind of happens over here, and if there's any errors, it will kind of be hidden better. So with 2%, and then 4. Okay, so any errors will be hidden over here in the corner if we do have any problems. I'm thinking about something really quick here. Yeah, I think that's good. So there's that. So I think 768, so that's tablet. Do I center this? I feel like I have to center this. 1024. Let's say at 1200 is when I put them side by side. So I think for tablet, the most logical, because we have this centered, and this is to the left, so that bothers me. So we can remove info group. Now, because I already got this figured out, right? Well, I don't actually have this figured out, so it doesn't matter. I can choose whatever, I can do whatever I want. A small desktop. Enter that. What are you? Your P. Okay, and then actually we don't need picture. What are you doing here? There you go. So I'm just setting everybody to be display block, their margin left and right to be auto, and their text align to be center. And this makes much more logical sense on tablet. So when we go to 1200, I'm actually going to I think I'm going to side by side them. Do I? How would that look? I wonder if we wait for 13. Let's wait for 13. Let's add another media query. I know we got so many media queries, but that's what happens when you got these wacky ones. Okay, we don't need this one because that's for the picture that we are not using. We don't need this one because that's the picture that we're not using. I don't know if we're even using this one. Let's remove this and see what happens. Yeah, nothing happens, so we're cool. I'm just getting rid of all these bogus media queries we don't need. We need that one. I think we need that one. There we go. All right, so landing. By content and space between. I use this so much. All right, and then we got our H2s, or H1. Margin left, 0. Text align left. Let's do that for the P. And we're setting margin left to 0 so that you get shoved over here. This looks pretty good. But we definitely need to scale it a little bit. Not too much. And I think that's just enough. Padding top, 203. And I'm just going to keep these centered. And I think that is it. Okay, that's it for that section. Cool. Beautiful. That did not take nearly as much time. So it looks all weird right now because I think it's a browser error. So if we were to look at this on a full screen, I think we can adjust this. So why do I have this open? I don't need you anymore. So on 1300, what I'm going to do. This is going to be such a long one. Okay, definition group item and input type. I think that's going to be 3. I want your P, and I want the after. And its top value is going to be -1 divided by BT. That fixes that. And we're going to do this again for number 4. Okay, that appears to fix that. So at least on desktop now it is all aligned appropriately. And yeah, so that's a nice creative way to use pseudo elements to get what you need done. The markup wasn't too bad. We did everything in CSS. These don't look centered, so I think I'm going to recenter them on mobile info group. There we go. We're going to make you guys go 14, 13. Okay, that looks right. And then get rid of this. Close, 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 close. And we're going to go to your afters for these guys. P. Really? 0? Oh, wait, no. There we go. Left, -14. 13. Okay, 13 looks like it's the money shot. Cool. So we're done. That is this section. Neat, right? Yeah. I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah, they're pretty tight. So there's that. Gosh, I'm just kind of happy how this turned out. I thought I was gonna be banging my head against the wall on this thing. So let's move on, and we're gonna hit this guy. So banner, and we're not gonna need too many media queries. So here's our. Let's see, do I have a banner one? I need a banner and I need a banner mobile. So since this is so wide and we're going to be on mobile, well, let's make a mobile crop. So, because essentially that's all that we're going to see is like this. So let's just use this grab. I don't know, my caps lock is on. Okay, and our banner. We're going to need our picture element. There we go, grab it from here. And in our banner, that's going to be our background image. So we're going to banner mobile -m banner regular and banner as the fallback. And the banner image is 1920 329. Cool. So now what we're going to do, let's set this image up, banner position relative, and let's grab this. Oh no, we got to do picture. You're going to be position absolute top 0 left 0 width 100%, height 100%, and then we make the image fit into you. Oh yeah, display block. This doesn't appear to be working. Why? So this is my banner. Oh, maybe because that's my text. So let's start getting the text going. So after our picture, we have our P. Your font size is 36. Line center with 96%. Max width is 889. Margin auto to center. Line height 1 cent. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Margin bottom 24. So we got that. Seems a little big. I think I'm gonna have to scale all this down again. Padding 75 top and bottom, and 0 left and right. Get some space in here. Let's also get that. Let's get that overlay on the banner. 90% opacity. There it is. Now let's go to the index of -1. That means you are going to be -2, and you are going to be the index 1. There's that. Now we're going to do our name. So that means our color is this color. Cool. Text align center. Display block. Railway. Line height's all the same. Okay. So here's that. That's what that looks like. Yeah, I think we can leave it this big. It's a it's a quote. It's big and it's supposed to be in your face. So let's do that. And we're gonna grow. Our padding top is gonna be 57 and 80 on the bottom. So when do I want to start that? I think on 1024 is where I'll start that. Or 1300. So I remove this, remove all you guys. So it is, what was it? 60 on the bottom and 57 on top. Let's just do 60 all around. And then 0 left and right. There we go. And yeah, these stop growing when they're supposed to be growing. And let's remove the picture element. And let's add the background image so that I can make it parallax. And then background attachment. Fixed. That's what gives you that quasi, parallax effect. And all your backgrounds, you need background size. Well, you want it to cover it, right? The position, you want it to be in the center. You don't want it to repeat. These are your basic 4 for background images, and then you put this one on it when you want it to be a parallax. And that section's done. So now we go to these. All right, this will be fun. Let's close these up. Let's get some more of you guys. All right, this is going to be steps. I'll just do step 1. Okay. So right away, right now I'm going to start. Oh, excuse me, here we go. ID step 1. And I want my picture element. So right now this picture is getting wildly crazy. So I think I'm going to do picture display block width of 90%, margin auto, dimension relative, height of 350, and then the image inside is going to object fit. So we get that. Let's add our padding. 75 by 20 and 0. So, yeah, see, it's all nice and equal. It's all about that spacing. See, this is like equal, this is equal, this is equal, this is equal. Like, I see a lot of problems on some websites where, like, maybe this is like way down here and it's like barely touching the line, or this is like really touching the line. It's like, let your stuff breathe. Don't be afraid. So let's actually make this 80 or 70 and 300, because then I want to do this. I would like that to show up on mobile. So I take this color, put it in the background, and these values aren't going to mean anything to me, so I'm just going to make it up over here. So it's going to be bottom, obviously. Let's just do -20. And then left, -20. Index. Height, 60%. Width, 60%. Oops. Margin bottom. So if I want 50, I have to add 20 because of that before being 20 below. So 70 divided by 20. Push that down. So now we got that. That looks nice. And now our knitting. So we got our image, so we got our H2. Font size, that's going to be 64. Cool, cool. 46. What are you doing? .46 by 64M. Is that really how much it needs to be? That looks like a lot. I'm just going to drop it. 36. Okay, where are you getting this? $50.4. 1.5M. Oh, this just seems like a lot. It's not even working. Oh, it's because I'm in the picture element. Because I'm stupid. It's inside the picture element. There's no H2 in the picture element. Duh. 46. That's why it wasn't reading. See, watch. There it is. That's what I wanted. Okay, and what to do with the numbers? I could. How do I put these in here? I mean, I could do, I could push these guys over and maybe start them right about here and put a number here. Or you know what? We don't even have an image. What if instead of the images, we put the numbers? Interesting. It does seem like these take up a lot of space. I'm in a conundrum. This is a dilemma. Do I keep the images or replace them with the numbers? Or why not have both? I will do this. I center those. All right, cool. And what I'm going to do, we're going to do my pseudos. And you remember how we don't have anything in the content? Well, now we're going to have something in the content. And it's going to be a 2. We're not going to have a background. I'm just going to do, let's do 100 by 100 just to see what happens. We got that. You guys are enter. Okay, so we got that, and you're going to be font weight bold, font size 250, 20 divided by 64. Yeah, because these are attached to this, right? They're attached to this H2, and the H2 has a font size of 64M. So it's been redeclared, so we have to do 64. And let's just see what happens. Okay, so there's our 2. This is great. So let's take this. Your color is going to be this. And your opacity is going to be 0.3 right here. And we're going to do left 50% transform translatex negative 50% so that we can center it horizontally without having to use Fluxbox. And I'm going to make the image an extra 100. Let's say 300 by 300 instead. And we do that. But we take top and we do like negative 50 divided by 64 and bring it up a little bit, too much. And then send it to the back. Or we center it. You do top 50%. And then translate y negative 50. Well, it seemed like that worked at all. Why is this not working? I got my pseudo. Oh, what is all this about? Why is this H2 pseudo gigantic? Am I missing something? All right, well, let's just do that. So this is gonna be a 1 actually. There we go. We get to have both. There's our 1. And our p tags. I don't want y'all to get too big. Let's do that. Because I'm setting its width to 96% of the container. I'm centering it with margin auto, and I'm setting its max width to stop growing at 400. So when we grow, it stops because it looks weird when we have like way too long text. I should set a max width on this too. And bring that a little closer. Okay, so there's our, this is 635. Let's do 76 for tablet. So this is our tablet. I feel like we need to go side by side. So by tablet, I'm gonna grab you. We're gonna flex everybody. Justify content, space between. Line items. Flex start. I'm gonna tell you how far I want you to go from the top. Okay, now I have to set my picture to its actual height and width. 655, so width of 655, height of 802, max width of 655. So there's that, and it's before. Width of 45, height of 594, and you are 38 left, 52 down. So left, negative 38, and bottom, negative 52. So that's going to look exactly how it's supposed to look. And our H2 is a text left with 100%. I have to set a width on the content. That's just going to be 539. So content I gotta create space. Min width. Step 1, content. Okay. Oh, it's because the picture element, I think, has margin auto, which is throwing things off. If you have margins on things in a flex container, it throws everything off. There we go. Okay, and then our max width is going to be from here to there. $14.14. And actually, we don't want to do center. We want to do, let's start. So I'm going to push everything over here because what's happening, so we have this gap over here. It's not exactly like a space between. So this is technically, when you look at these guys, this is the edge of the container and this is the other edge. This is pushed over a little bit. So I'm going to shove these guys over to the left, all of them. And then on the picture element, I'm going to make a margin right of 108 to push it away. And that's going to push it away exactly how far it needs to go. And then my P tag, left, and then text align left. So that's going to go there. And my top is here. So I need a 186 on the top. So margin top 186 divided by 64m, and that's where that's supposed to go. And your width is going to be 100%, max width 100%, because we set the width of content. We have a min width of the content, and then I need to set a max width 539 divided by 20. There we go. I have to set a min width so that it can push how it needs to push in the flex container. Like it has a minimum width of 539. If you just set a regular width of 539, Flexbox is going to ignore that when it has to squeeze things in. So if you say min width, like it cannot be less than this, Flexbox will have to obey, basically. That's what that is saying. Now where is your before? How does this freaking happen? What is going on? Like something's happening, and it should not be happening. Position relative, right? Okay, I think there's something over here. I got visual. Let's remove the transform. I don't think we need it anymore. We're just going to base this. I'm just going to eyeball it, actually. So that one looks like it's just a little hair over the end. So we need to push this over a little bit. Zoom in a little bit. Let's go one more. And then the one, I don't know, is it like 5 pixels? Let's go top, auto. Let's go from the bottom of -5 divided by 64. Let's see that. Doesn't appear to be making things happy, so top of 20 divided by 64. 0. -10. 14. Yeah, I think we got a problem here. I think I have to set it right now. Why is this so gigantic? What in God's green earth? Why are you? By setting max widths, does that calm you guys down? Like, why are you so gigantic? I really don't understand this. Why is it so big? You know, it's not even pulling. I said font size, and it's not even pulling it. Well, I am also. Oh, whatever. That works. We're just going to put pointer events, none. So that no mouse will ever hover over that. I don't know why that is the way it is. That is so weird. What if I just remove the heights? Okay, well, that's a little better. At least it's not as freakish. I'll take that. So now what we do, this is basically done. When we grow it, it's going to grow to whatever it needs to be. However, 173. All right, now we're where we need to be. So this is done. And now what we need to do, so we don't need you to. This is essentially the same thing as step 3. So we're going to change this to 3. I'm going to scroll down. There's step 3. Except in the, there we go, step 3. And your color is, okay, green. So the only difference is in 2, we're going to rotate. 2 and 4 are going to be flipped. So we're going to take this, and this is going to be 2. And you are this color, and your opacity is 45. So here we get our 2. When we're on tablet, this is where things change. So the picture order is going to be 2. Okay, and our flex start is going to be flex end. Oops. Flex end for justified content. So we're going to push everybody over here. The margin right is now margin left. And the before, instead of being left, it's going to be right. Right. Why aren't you working? Oh, that's right, because I gotta. It's left on mobile. So there's that, and now our H2 is going to be text align right. Our U are going to be text align right. Margin left is going to be auto. Margin right is going to be 0. And then our before is going to be right, negative 45. Looks like we need a little more too, so let's not go right so harsh. We need a little bit more of you to show. About halfway down here, so let's go 40. And that looks about right. And so that's how we reverse it, essentially. Now we gotta make sure we have, see these margins are off now. So, see this padding top doesn't need to be here. Let's just check how our mobile looks. Oh yeah, you also gotta be. There's that. I think we can rotate this left. Let's do this right. Send that to the right. 2. And that's 3. And then we're going to copy 2. Whoops. Step 1. This is step 2. I'm going to copy step 2. And we're going to make a step 4. Now, why am I doing this? I could have easily just used classes and just doubled them up. So instead of using IDs, I just use classes, and like 1 and 3 would have a class of like left, and then 2 and 4 would have a class of right, and they're just pulling the same styles. I'm doing this so that it's easier to lift my code and put it somewhere else. So like if I just want to grab like one of these, I can do it, and it's separated. So I'm all about reusing code when you can to make work go by faster. So that's the reasoning behind that. I want them to all to be standalone so that it's easier for me to move things around or put them in different projects and manipulate them individually. So one of the things I need to do now, that's 4. I think we can make these stuff. No, I think that's fine. Okay, so let's go to 768. Now we need to adjust. So step 1, heading bottom 0. Step 2, heading top 0. So now that's 0. And I need padding top to go up by -62. So margin top -62 by 20. So that's going to go up there. And I have a feeling this is not right. This has to be 272. 186. Okay, so number 2, your margin top needs to be 272. Is that enough? Is that? Yeah, that looks. Is that about right? All these containers, I gotta remove your padding. So step 1. Step 2. Okay, so these are that's 272 from the top. I feel like this is it. Okay, so that's good. So 2, padding bottom 0, and then step 3, 0. So now they're lined up, and step 3 is 54. So margin top -54 divided by 20m, and that means this is 255. So margin top is 255, and let's see how that looked. That's about right. Bottom 0, 4, 0. Now you're lined up, and 4 is 62. And you are 272. So the margin top is 272. And there you have it. Now our padding bottom on the 4 is going to be 201. And that's perfect. So that's that section. That's how we're going to do things. It's that understanding that you can use negative margins, and this is a great way to do it. Is pushing things up and without having to deal with the repercussions of transforms. Because when you transform something, the problem is it's transforming, like if you're doing like translate y, like negative 50 pixels, it's translating that negative 50 pixels from where it is supposed to be in the DOM. So that means there would be a gap here. I'd have to, it's technically still, it's taking up this space, it's filling in this space, but we're just shoving it up 50 pixels while it's still maintaining its space. And you don't want that, because then you'll have a bunch of space underneath it that you have to now account for. By doing margin top negative, you're pulling, instead of like moving this up, you're pulling the whole thing up. The whole section is coming up, but it's not leaving any space behind. It's literally just pulling the section above it toward it, and it allows it to overlap. So that's why we're doing margin top negatives. That's why we're not doing transforms. We're not doing position absolute. That's not necessary. So like when you need to have some overlapping elements, but transforming or making them position absolute, it just makes more work for you, and you want to avoid position absolute for your content as much as possible. So that is why my decision narrowed down to using negative margins to push and pull. I'm sorry, not push. Pushing is positive. A positive margin value will push. A negative margin value will pull. And that's how we're pulling this down. So that's what this looks like. Damn, this page is done. So yeah, that's it with that. Wasn't so bad. This definitely came out a lot. I'm happy about this section. This is actually pretty. This is probably one of the more intricate things I had to make, and I am really happy how it all came out. But so this is our process page. So now we got 3 pages in. This looks good. So now we're going to do the contact page. And we have even more FAQs. Yay. This should not be too bad. Shouldn't is the key word here. So just again, this is going to be another margin top negative, right? We're gonna pull up and let this overlap us. So we just got to build these. We just got to build these 2 sections, and this is already done. So thanks for watching this one. Hopefully you picked up some neat tricks, you learned something, or you feel good. I don't know. But on to the next. This is the last page. And then after this, I'm going to do dark mode. So I'll show you how my dark mode system works. It's already built in, as you've seen. It's already built in. So I just have to, go in and tweak some things. And we'll show you. Oh god, that's off. That's so bad. I gotta fix that. So yeah, so that's why dark mode is its own thing. We're gonna. Oh, this is gonna look nice. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna fix all of the styles for dark mode, and then I think this one can benefit from animations. I think we're gonna add some animations to this. So I'll show you how to add animations to the page, and, what looks nice and what doesn't. And then I think after dark mode and animations, I'm not sure on mobile. Like, I don't know if I like this menu, right? I don't know if I like this. I think I want it to be, I want it to drop down from the top. So, because it's a very light menu, it's very small. So I think I'm going to show you guys at the end, maybe a enhancements video, I don't know, where I will show you how to tweak my my build kit nav. We're going to make this into a drop down where it drops down from the top. I think that is the most intuitive. So we're going to keep that. But overall, this is what we got. Wasn't so bad. It's 100% responsive now. And what the hell is this? There's it. What is this? Uh-huh. Right. So where is it? Great. just when freaking think you're done. Okay, here we go. We got the dreaded double scroll. You see this long one? So, and we have a short one and a long one. So something isn't playing nice. See this now? Now we're stuck. Okay. So how do we even troubleshoot this? Well, let's zoom out. And what we do is we remove something slowly. So let's close you up. Now, if let's go into our HTML. So something in the HTML is overflowing and it's causing problems. So what we do is we just delete it. Every section. If we delete a section, and if it's still there, and if we still have an overflow issue, okay, so it wasn't that. That's safe. Close you. If we delete you, does it get fixed? No. So it's not in here. And let's get some space there. So if we delete you, that doesn't fix it. If we delete you, that doesn't fix it. If we delete you, that doesn't fix it. I mean, it can only be, like, what else can it be? It's not you. Is it my CTA? It's not my CTA. Is it my footer? It's not my footer. So what the hell is it? It appears it's only on mobile. Is that just a bug? And so if it's not here, iPad? It's not an iPad. Okay, what? Okay, zoom out. This is ridiculous. Let's try refreshing. No, it's happening here. To my navigation. If I delete my header, that doesn't fix it. See, this is interesting now. Let's open this up in Firefox. Let's see. Gosh, how do I use you? Okay, here we go. Something's happening. I think Mozilla. Okay, so it's an overflow on the banner, and it's an overflow on main, overflow on CTA. Interesting. It's happening in here. Why is it causing? Yeah, I thought I was gonna have a good day. But no. Alright, this freaking banner. Okay, so something's happening in the banner. Maybe it has to do with or you know what? Let's check my HTML. Maybe I messed something up. Maybe my HTML is missing something. Direct input here. No, HTML looks fine. Okay, so that's not that. I deleted banner. So it's not like there's any open and closed brackets. I mean, everything looks like it makes sense here. This is what it's supposed to be. But it's, if I remove main, there's no overflow. So I wish it would tell me what H1 is overflowing. Everything in here is overflowing. And then my CTA. Why? Well, welcome to my nightmare, people. Something is happening in here. What if I set... What if I set overflow to hidden on CTA? Okay, so on mobile, I forgot to even do picture needs to be position absolute 0 left 0 y 0 width 100% right 100% overflow hidden. Then we do the image. Okay, what if I do overflow hidden on the container? U and on banner. Gosh dang it. Why? Okay, let me see what happens. So if I remove the banner and I remove the CTA, do I still have an overflow? Hey, what is this? Oh, whoops! I just removed the CSS. That's stupid. Look how irritated I'm getting now. I'm making dumb mistakes. Okay, so if I remove banner and I remove CTA, I still have a problem. God. This is so stupid. So freaking stupid. Okay, well, you've exhausted my troubleshooting for this overflow issue. I mean, this video is basically over, so if you're done watching me struggle, go ahead, leave. But I am going to have to figure this out, and I thought I was going to finish this today. It looks like all my pictures are overflowing. Did I make a mistake? Literally everything is overflowing. Wow, I have never been more irritated in my life. Like how? How is it overflowing? I don't know what to do. Like my go-to way of fixing this is not working. Like I deleted everything. What if I delete everything except for the landing? So this is another one. Process by elimination. Okay, what is texting me? We ran into problems. Okay, so removing everything except landing doesn't do it. Alright, I gotta be right back. I gotta bring her down something. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So if we do landing and banner, let's remove these. Okay, so that's fine. So let's keep the banner, and now let's do all the steps and CTA. All right, no overflow. So something's happening in the steps. Let's keep step 1. Step 1, that's where it's at. It's in the picture element. That is our problem. And what is causing it? So I've narrowed it down. It's in the steps. And it's in here. It's the befores. Is it the befores? You know, I bet it's these freaking befores. So if I go to step 1, auto. Auto. So I think that before being gigantic as it is, it's causing me problems. And there it is. We solved it. It was the damn befores. As you saw, they were taking up the gigantic part of the screen for whatever reason. So I had to set heighten with auto, and that fixed it. Thank goodness. Okay, now we can move on. So there you go. If you ever have, if you ever run into these overflow issues, go first start section by section and to delete the sections, right? One by one, just delete a section. If the overflow isn't fixed, then put it back and then move on to the next one, delete it. And when you delete a section and the overflow is gone, that means it is in that section. And then start inspecting elements and seeing what is something taking up a big part of the screen, is something overflowing anywhere, but at least that narrows down where it's happening. All right. And if that isn't working, that means it's in multiple places. And that's when I started deleting in groups. So that's when I deleted everything except for the first section. Okay, that's fine. And then I delete everything except for the first two sections. So that means, and if that's still fine, that means the first and second section are fine, and so on and so forth. And deleting groups after group. And then when I get my first overflow, that means that it's in that group. So if it's not the first, second, third, or fourth, but when I delete the group with the fifth, sixth, and seventh, that means, wait a minute, it's in the fifth, sixth, or seventh group. So then you just start deleting from there and finding out where it's at. Maybe it's in your sixth and seventh, maybe it's in your fifth and sixth, but that's kind of how that's how you narrow those down and you find out your overflow issues. So okay, that's a good lesson that I didn't want to have to go over because now I wasted so much time. So this is the end of this video. It's over. We're going to do the contact and then dark mode and then animations. And then I'm going to make that mobile menu, that drop down from the top. And then after that is when we will go through optimizations and QA. So that's when I'll check my page speed score and see if I'm missing anything. And if we do everything right, it should be like a 99 right off the bat anyway, after we compress all our images. And then we'll do final QA of like, okay, now what's the next steps? Well, these are the things that you need to do to check the quality of your work. Get your sitemap going, Google Search Console, analytics, HTML validation, check your dead links, make sure all your links are working. So we'll be going over all that as well. So with that is the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.